more than 50 kgs. You can see from this picture here, which is I think it's a 500 kilogram weights from Mettler Toledo. So it's the shape is a bit irregular, but again, that is just for it's easier to store and handling. So this is the summary. So because the document can look quite long, I mean all these paragraphs. So I just try to summarize it in terms of a table. I think you can do the same as well once you read it. So, and this is for weights that are less than 1 gram, and then weight between 1 gram and 5 kilogram, 5 kilogram to 50 kilogram, and then more than 50 kilograms. So those are just summary from what I talked about before. And this here, the pictures down there is just to show you the example on how those mesh standards looks like. These are from the segmented weights, sheet weights, and then weights with hooks with eye, and then that's the usual one that we see. And then this one is the some weights that allow for handle, the one that is more than 5 kilograms, and then here it's just that 500 kilograms weight. All right. The next thing is on the construction of the weights. So the thing is that construction here means that whether or not we can have an adjusting cavity, and then if yes, how should the cavity be like, and then whether or not it has to be a single piece, right? Yeah. So and then if we have a cavity, adjustment cavity, then what should the volume be? So just bear with me. So for class E weights, the highest class weights, so anything from 1 milligram to 50 kilogram, it should be a solid single piece and no cavity open to the atmosphere. So it should have no adjustment cavity at all for any E class weights from 1 milligram to 50 kilograms. But for E2 weights that are greater than 50 kilogram, then you may have an adjusting cavity. But the volume has to be not exceeding one per 1,000 of the total volume of the weight. And of course, to prevent anything added into the weights, the cavity shall be sealable, should be watertight, should be airtight, and then closed with a threaded plug with either a screwdriver slot or handling device such as a knob, handle on an eye. So in the adjusting cavity, we cannot fill in too much materials into it if we want to adjust it. So about half of the total volume of the adjusting cavity shall be empty. And then also the material of the plug of the cavity of the adjustment cavity shall be the same as the body of the weight and shall comply with the surface requirements of class E2, which I'll talk about later on the surface requirements. So F-class weights, it can be one piece or more pieces manufactured from the same material. So you can have the adjusting cavity from 1 gram to 50 kilograms. So for these weights, is that again, there's a volume requirement on how much stuff you can put into the cavity, and then it should be closed again by some lifting knob or other suitable device. And then that's the after adjustment, only half of the total volume can be filled. So means the other half should be empty. And then for any weights that are F-class weights that are greater than 50 kilogram, yeah, there's a volume requirements as well on what the cavity should be. And then also half of the cavity volume cavity shall be empty after adjustment. You cannot put too much stuff in it, such that it's over half of the volume cavity. And then, yeah, it has to be airtight and watertight. The walls of the box shall be rigid, that changes in any environmental changes and any shocks will not deform the box.